Devotional reflection. Ego is not a broken heart. He who trusts in his own heart is a fool, but whoever walks wisely will be delivered. Proverbs 28 verse 26 told. The human ego is one of the most misunderstood forces within us. It is not confidence, it is not strength. It is a false self we build to protect our image, avoid discomfort, and preserve control. The ego is fueled by illusion. It seeks praise, avoids exposure, and demands to be fed. But what it cannot do is love. The ego cannot sustain real connection because its loyalty is to self-protection, not truth. And when love challenges it, when love reveals what is real, the ego often interprets that exposure as pain. For men, ego often disguises itself as dominance, confidence, or success. But beneath the surface, it's driven by an unconscious hunger for validation. Many men don't pursue women for love. They pursue them for affirmation. Not to build connection, but to reinforce identity. The woman becomes a mirror, not a companion. He wants to be admired, desired, respected. And when she gives him that, he believes it's love. But it's not love, it's ego gratification. And when that admiration fades or the relationship demands vulnerability, he pulls back or walks away. Not because he lost interest in her, but because she stopped feeding the version of himself he was addicted to. For women, the ego takes another form. It latches onto the idea of love rather than the reality of it. Many women fall in love with possibility, not presence. With potential, not truth. She emotionally invests in who she hopes he'll become, not who he actually is. And when the fantasy begins to fall apart, when the reality of his flaws shows up, her ego feels betrayed. She calls it heartbreak, but what's really breaking is the illusion she was emotionally entangled with. She wasn't in love with the man. She was in love with the story. Both sides suffer. Both walk away with pain they can't fully explain. But the pain isn't from love, it's from ego. The ego doesn't know how to surrender. It only knows how to expect, demand, and react. So when love calls for humility, patience, and truth, the ego either runs or retaliates. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Jeremiah 17:9. If we are not honest about the role ego plays in our relationships, we will keep calling dysfunction love and disappointment heartbreak. But what we're really experiencing is the collapse of self-deception. Love didn't fail, illusion did. Healing begins when the ego is quieted, when the man stops chasing women to feel like a man, when the woman stops chasing fantasies to feel like she's loved, when both submit their hearts to truth, not their feelings, not their wounds, not their projections. Because love doesn't live in the ego's domain. It lives where the ego dies. And only when the ego surrenders can the heart finally see what love truly is.